Style. 3. Behold the noble paragraph. We've been spending most of our time at the level of the sentence so far. We're scaling up now. And I want to suggest to you that a successful paragraph introduces a clear topic or issue. Sure, we know that, right? It moves readers toward specific questions. Aha. And then it answers those questions. Writing that succeeds in this way is called cohesive. It hangs together nicely. So if you're visiting us in the Writing Center, as I hope you do and will, you might hear us talking about cohesion. And this is what we mean. Paragraphs that lead the reader gently from one point to the next towards some big conclusion. What's good about this example paragraph, I ask you? During the first decade of Just Do It, Nike increased its market share of the domestic sports shoe business from 18%, $877 million, to 43%, $9.2 billion. Just Do It expanded Nike's target audience from hardcore competitive athletes to the general public by appealing to the inner athlete. The new appeal was that anyone and everyone could wear the merchandise and feel included. Everyone, from your average teenager making a fashion statement to professional athletes putting in hours of work, could wear a pair of Nike athletic shoes and experience the associated benefits of doing so. The values of that inner athlete, determination, dedication, and mental toughness added up to a Nike brand that finally forced Reebok out of a dominant market position. Wow, magnificent paragraph. Why? Not because the writer has some unspeakable gift that nobody else has, but because they knew this. We start with an unread page. Nobody's decided to read what you wrote. They're wondering if they want to. You will be a cohesive writer to the extent you anticipate and guide readers' questions. The first thing they're asking is, should I read this? But I'm not suggesting that you just need an attention grabber and then you can let the chips fall where they may. Yes, of course, that first sentence should get them on topic. But then you have to keep asking that question. What now have I got the reader asking? You've told them about this billion-dollar achievement of Nike. Now they're wondering why, how. Your next sentence has to answer that question that you set up. And the sentence after that has to answer the next question. You mentioned something about an inner athlete. Okay, what on earth is that? Can my inner athlete score runs for me in the baseball game? The new appeal was that anyone and everyone could wear the merchandise and feel included. Okay. Everyone from your average teenager making a statement, etc., could wear a pair of Nike shoes. Okay. So what? I thought this was a business paper. Well, the values of that inner athlete, determination, dedication, mental toughness, added up to a Nike brand that finally forced Reebok out of a dominant market position. Magnificent final sentence that brings everything back home and says, okay, here's what we've been leading up to. This is why all that stuff matters. Sounds pretty philosophical when you talk about values and so on. And it is. And those ads are complicated, and we could talk about them for pages and pages. And maybe this paper goes on to analyze the ads. But first of all, we need to know the so what. And the so what is Nike maneuvered into a dominant market position based on the Just Do It campaign. Fabulous logic all the way through that paragraph. But maybe your paper isn't about Nike and billions of dollars and famous athletes, and then what do? Your reader is already thinking, so what? All you have to do, and it sounds, it's easy to say, but it's really just something you have to practice. All you have to do is think about what the reader's thinking. That's your task. Not to display your vocabulary. The reader is not thinking, I wonder what other words this person knows, but rather to make sure you get to a key point. In the 1990s, slimming products containing Chinese herbs were sold in Belgium as traditional herbal medicines. So what? Well, the main herb used in making them was Stephania tetrandra. So what? In Chinese, the name for Stephania is very similar to the name for Aristolochia functi. So what? Aristolochia contains aristolochic acid. So what? Well, this acid causes endemic nephropathy with permanent kidney damage and end-stage kidney failure. After medical dangers were associated with the herbal supplements, the International Agency of Research on Cancer classified Aristolochia as a human carcinogen. The genesis of a carcinoma, something that causes cancer. That's bad. Oh, notice those sentences. It's a masterful paragraph not because the writer was born with some magical power, and some people can write and some can't. Lies. Not true. It's good because the writer, a student of mine, knew what the reader needed to hear and shaped the paragraph and shaped the sentences around the concerns of the reader. Each sentence, you'll notice, picks up where the last one left off and ends with a key point leading into the sentence after that. So, the main herb was Stephania. Next sentence has to tell us why Stephania matters. And it turns out it has to do with Aristolochia. The next sentence has to tell us about Aristolochia. We're not lost because we know all these big words are the scientific names for herbs. Told us at the beginning, this is about herbs. And each one of those nice, clean sentences leads up to the big point at the end. Doesn't take them too long to get there. This causes cancer. Now we know why we should maybe keep reading. And the next paragraph will lead us on a further journey. But even if I'm not a biochemist, I now care about this. And even if I am a biochemist, I know why I should keep reading, even if I'm not particularly interested in herbs. It's impossible to get lost in a paragraph like this, and it's impossible to miss the key point. Why? Because the writer used the position of emphasis at the end of each sentence and the end of the paragraph. So let's look at this example from paleontology. Clark's practice. And here we're thinking about where's the big takeaway sentence and is it in the right place? Because when we want to emphasize something, we put it at the end. Clark's practice of carefully mapping every fossil made it possible to follow the evolutionary development of various types through time. Beautiful sequences. Antelopes, giraffes, and elephants were obtained. New species evolving out of old ones and appearing in younger strata, then dying out as they were replaced by still others in still younger strata. In short, evolution was taking place before the eyes of the Homo surveyors, and it could be timed. The finest examples of this process were in several lines of pigs, which had been extremely common at Homo and had evolved rapidly. Unsnarling, the pig's story, was turned over to paleontologist Basil Cook. He produced family trees for pigs, whose various types were so accurately dated that pigs themselves became measuring sticks that could be applied to finds of questionable age in other places that had similar pigs. Cool fun fact about the pigs. Is this ultimately a pig story? If not, if there's some other sentence in there that really sums up what it's all about, that sentence should be the last sentence. Because things that we want to emphasize go at the end. In short seems like a bit of a giveaway, and that long dash too. In short, evolution was taking place before the eyes of the Homo surveyors, and it could be timed. So how about that? How about we put it there? Better? Yeah. So cohesion, I want to suggest to you, is a kind of thoughtfulness. If you're thinking wisely about your reader's concerns and questions and responding to them, your paragraphs will hang together nicely. Thanks.